Hey everyone, Rich Trader here again, and we're just going to be going over the weekly analysis for last week. As I said in the previous weekly analysis video, last Friday, we had this obviously weekly FEG here. I was talking about how we were starting to reject, and there's a good chance we're going to see a pullback. Also, I stated that this 4-hour order block was going to be pretty big. You can see here we got this nice bounce off of it intermittently. A lot of these orders got filled. These previous orders from institutions filled, pushed price back up. You can see in a 30-minute chart quite aggressively. And then, we just continued this downtrend here. Another thing to mention is we did have this kind of trendline liquidity here, which acted very well in terms of kind of smart money concept ideas. Is we came in, swept this trendline liquidity here, and then continued the dump, right? So now we're ending the week off on both sides of NQ and ES. We have sell side liquidity down here, and then as well right here. So looking next week, definitely be looking to see this get taken. And then probably even going to see additionally more downside after that. We do have this order block here going to be acting now as a breaker block on the 4-hour chart. So definitely that's something to keep in mind. Same thing here on NQ, right? So definitely want to keep this in mind that we have this 4-hour breaker here now that we are getting closes underneath this order block. We also have on the NQ chart very clear for our FEG did not hold, therefore making this an inversion FEG, which is also going to be additional resistance to the upside. So next week, next targets are going to be on NQ, just kind of continuing the downtrend, looking at this potential sell side liquidity down here. Also have this daily order block here, and then this daily FEG here. So just a couple high time frame PD rays to keep in mind. Really was cool to see how my analysis of last week held so perfectly with these order block bounces on the 4-hour chart. Really is pretty clear to see how we came in, bounced off of that, and then continued up, and then the weekly FEG did continue to hold first to come down a little more. Other than that, not too much different. Other than those, other than that weekly FEG bias is kind of now more bearish than last week. Obviously, we had that weekly candle close very bearish. However, after this internal liquidity gets swept, definitely going to be looking at this daily FEG here, and then this daily order block here. Definitely should be marking those on your charts, guys. Have that FEG marked, have this order block marked, and if you do start to see a bounce off of these zones or these areas on a smaller time frame, definitely going to be a good opportunity to try to scalp along, right? We are still kind of bearish in the short time frames, right, with all these down close candles. However, if we do start to see consolidation, you see some accumulation down here, and then you see market structure shift towards the upside, definitely going to be a good opportunity to take a scalp to some internal buy side liquidity. This opportunity is going to be in both directions this next week. I would definitely expect. I'm not going to expect too much of a flush down past this FEG, this order block. However, definitely we're most likely going to take out this sell side liquidity here and come into that order block in FEG in the daily chart. Okay, cool. Next thing I wanted to go over was this right here. So this is just going to be really nice, clean trade that I took on Friday. which really highlights just kind of super classic, super clean cut ICT trading. Um, so first off, you can see on the ES chart, we have this SMT here in regards to NQ, right? So this low and then this low, or this low and this low. So you can mark this in just to make it a little bit clearer. You have the SMT there. So now at this point, I was looking for a push on up, and then when we do see these SMTs and a solid push and market structure shift, we see this 30-minute OB or 30-minute FVG bounce here, right? This is when I can put in the fibs for standard deviation, maximum expansion things, 1 standard deviation, 2, 2.5, and then 4 are kind of the standard ones to look at. And I believe this came on the 2-hour chart. Yeah, so SMT comes, you go from here to this high here, and then you can see how perfectly the 2 standard deviations lines up with this expansion off the SMT. So we start to see this dump off of this second standard deviation. Also, if you come into the smaller time frames, you can see, where was it? I believe it was the 5-minute. Yeah, so this FVG here was just a turtle soup. So it definitely does purge it a little bit here. However, this is just the very end of the day, right? This is, after our trading session. Takes one last liquidity sweep here, and then the dump comes. Anyways, let's get into the Friday trading session. The best trades, in my opinion, were all here on NQ. Let's just go ahead and dive right in. So, 1-minute chart we're going to start with. We had this morning accumulation, Friday morning. And then my first entry of the day was, where was it? Right here. So at this point here, I'm looking at this 5-minute FVG, I believe it was, yes. So right here we have a 5-minute FVG that I was looking to see if it was going to hold right here with all these wicks coming off of it. So I'm here on the 1-minute chart watching and waiting for an entry, when in reality, no entry really came for the downside. Anything on the 1-minute chart was always looking for the upside to push through that old 5-minute FVG. So when I marked this out here, and I saw this was all holding, my bias flipped to bullish here. And then we have this beautiful BPR here, right? Inversion FVG, bullish FVG, wicks do the damage, right? But actually you can see how all the bodies are holding. So here, BPR, I took an entry on this candle here. Where's my, here we go. My entry came here, right, on this candle here, right, in this BPR. We came up, wicked back down. My stop loss was if the body of this candle closed underneath the BPR, that was going to be my stop loss. Also is looking at this FVG here, right? So stop loss was going to be just kind of underneath this FVG in case this did fail. So 13, looking at about 8 points of risk, nothing much, just on NQ here, and then targeting buy side liquidity from this high here. So perfect purge of buy side liquidity, worked out absolutely beautifully. Was able to take this from 113 all the way up to 150. So almost 40 points there in profits. Really nice trade. for the morning session. And then once this thing failed, or once this thing hit buy side, I hopped in the 3-minute chart and saw this 3-minute FVG right here was being rejected, right? After the liquidity did get swept. So here I'm thinking, potential sells are going to be valid here. And then we have this BPR here. We have this inversion. We have this bearish FVG. And then we came up and we're just wicking off of this. And here I alerted to my Discord, take sells right here on this candle here. We went ahead, this one right here, we went ahead and took our sells at 32. Was my alert. Sells hit. And here I'm looking for this to dump right through this FVG here. I want to see, as ICT often says, you want to see acceleration and just like a fast dump move through old FVGs that you're trying to push through. So I was able to take this position and hold through this FVG, and then our first target, our main PT was going to be this liquidity down here. Got out all of my position here. I did take partial profits in this FVG here just in case, but it happened so quickly that I was able to hold the rest of my position for this dump into here. And then we have this beautiful BPR inversion FVG, 1-minute FVG here, where I was able to take another position on a re-add at this FVG here. We dumped, took more profits off at the bottom of this, and then I was looking to add an additional position in this 1-minute FVG at this OB. So this OB was a perfect entry because of the just continuation trade idea. Everything's looking fluid. I still have more targets to the downside. As you see in the 30-minute chart, my main target was a push into this 30-minute order block I was looking for. We also had this sell side down here just before the 30-minute order block. So this was kind of really what I was looking for, was a push to down there. So I was able to get in a little bit more position in here at this, almost at this OB, at this 1-minute FVG, and this thing dumped all the way down to that OB. 30-minute order block bounces absolutely beautifully here. And then from here we get a market structure shift. And at this point, I was able to take my another entry, long position, in this FVG after the market structure shift at the high time frame PD array, right? So really clean, crispy trading here. Not too much, overly manipulation, stopping out, nothing like that. Just really crystal clear ICT trading. FVGs were respected, inversion FVGs were respected. Using the high time frame FVG as bias to then enter on a lower time frame FVG, and then understanding the higher time frame 30-minute PD array. After sell side gets swept, we see a lower low get put in place at the order block. We see a market structure shift to the upside, take entry in that FVG here. Really simple trade. I do believe my actual entry was in here, just because I wanted to see this 1-minute FVG hold, and then I wanted to take a stacked entry rather than just longing this, as we did have, an order block here that could have bounced down here. Oops. Right, we had this order block here, so I wanted to see which of these was going to hold before entry, and then I was able to take the stacked entry here, entering here, take profit at the nearest buy side liquidity. And yeah, that's pretty much it, honestly. You can see just the rest of the day then how this 30-minute OB just continued to bounce, wick underneath, bounce, another bounce here. So really clean, crispy trading all in all. This kind of Friday price action is just really what you look for, in my opinion. So yeah, that's gonna do it.